Hello, my friends. It's Vernon again. Today we're going to talk about something beautiful, yet often overlooked, the realities of love after 70. Now, I know what you're thinking. Vernon, why focus on the risks? Shouldn't love be all sunshine and roses? Well, yes, but wisdom comes from seeing the full picture, not just the parts we wish were true. You see, love in our later years isn't like the fairy tales we grew up with. It's deeper, more complex, and sometimes more fragile. And that's okay, because when we understand the challenges, we can love with our eyes wide open, with courage, not fear. So today, I'm going to share with you 4 unspoken risks of love after 70. These aren't meant to discourage you, but to prepare you. Because the best love stories at our age aren't written by chance, they're written by choice. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the wisdom we share here. And if this resonates with you, save this video. You might need to come back to it when your heart is ready to listen. Let's begin. Risk number 1. The ghosts of love. Past. Before we dive in, let me tell you about my friend, Eleanor. She was married for 52 years before her husband passed. For years, she swore she'd never love again, until she met Charles at a book club. Their connection was instant, like 2 old souls recognizing each other. But here's what surprised her. Loving again didn't just bring joy, it brought grief back to the surface. You see, when you love after loss, you don't just open your heart to someone new. You reopen the wounds of the past, the guilt of moving on, the fear of losing again, the quiet voice asking, "Am I betraying the love I once had?" Psychologists call this layered grief, where new love stirs up old sorrow. It's like planting a garden in soil that still remembers the last harvest. But here's the truth. Love isn't a betrayal. It's a continuation. The heart doesn't replace. It expands. So how do you navigate this? First, give yourself permission to grieve while you love. Second, talk about it with your new partner, with a therapist, or even in a journal. And third, remember, love after loss isn't about forgetting. It's about honoring the past while making room for the present. Have you ever felt this tug-of-war between old love and new? Share your story in the comments. You might help someone else feel less alone. Risk number 2. The financial tightrope. Now, let's talk about something even more delicate. Money. Because when love enters the picture after 70, finances can become a silent storm brewing beneath the surface. I knew a man named Walter, a retired teacher with a modest but secure nest egg. When he met Linda, a widow with medical debts, he wanted to help. Small gifts turned into larger ones. Before he knew it, his savings were dwindling, and his children were furious. They saw their inheritance slipping away, not because Linda was dishonest, but because love had blurred the lines of financial wisdom. This is more common than you think. A study from the AARP found that older adults are especially vulnerable to financial exploitation in relationships, not always through malice, but through well-meaning generosity that spirals out of control. So, what's the solution? Set boundaries early. Have honest conversations about money before emotions cloud judgment. And if you're unsure, consult a financial advisor or a trusted family member. Love shouldn't cost you your security or your family's trust. Have you ever seen finances strain a relationship? How did you handle it? Let's discuss in the comments. Risk number 3. The family fracture. Here's where things get even trickier. Because when you find love after 70, you're not just adding a person to your life. You're introducing a new character into a family story that's been decades in the making. Take my neighbor, Ruth. After her husband died, her children became her world. But when she started dating again, her daughter stopped calling. Her son made snide remarks. They weren't just protective, they were threatened. Because love after loss doesn't just change your life, it reshapes your family's roles, and not everyone is ready for that shift. Research shows that adult children often struggle with their parents' new relationships. They fear being replaced, or they resent the outsider who's now part of their family's legacy. And if finances are involved, that tension multiplies. So how do you bridge this gap? Communication, not just once, but repeatedly. Reassure your family that this new love isn't a replacement, it's an addition, and give them time. Change is hard at any age, but with patience, even the most resistant hearts can soften. If you're navigating this right now, know you're not alone. And if you know someone who is, share this video with them. They might need to hear this. Risk number 4, the identity crisis. And now, the risk no one talks about. The one that might change how you see love entirely. When you fall in love after 70, you don't just gain a partner, you lose yourself. Not in the poetic, romantic way we imagine at 20, but in a way that forces you to ask, who am I now? For years, you've been a widow, a widower, a single person who built a life alone. And suddenly, you're someone's partner again. The roles shift, the labels change, and that can feel like losing a piece of who you were. I felt this myself when I met Clara. For years, I defined myself by my late wife's memory. Loving again meant redefining myself, and that was terrifying. Was I betraying her? Was I betraying the person I'd become? But here's the truth. Love after 70 isn't about erasing the past. It's about integrating it. You're not starting over. You're building upon the life you've already lived. And that takes courage. So, how do you navigate this? Reflect. Journal. Talk to someone who understands. And most importantly, give yourself permission to evolve. Because the best love stories at our age aren't about finding someone to complete you. They're about finding someone who's worthy of the person you've become. Love with eyes wide open. So there you have it. 4 risks of love after 70 that no one talks about. The emotional ghosts, the financial tightrope, the family fractures, and the identity crisis. But here's the beautiful part. Knowing these risks doesn't make love harder. It makes it wiser. Because love at our age isn't about passion alone. It's about companionship, understanding, and the courage to be vulnerable one more time. So ask yourself, what kind of love do I want? What am I willing to risk for it? And how can I love with both my heart and my hard-earned wisdom? If this resonated with you, share it with someone who might need to hear it. And don't forget to subscribe for more wisdom on love, life, and aging with grace. Until next time, keep loving, keep living. And remember, the best chapters are often written in the quiet courage of our later years.